What is up, guys? My name is Motorius. Welcome to a new video brought to you by ESTNN. The games from the Overwatch League last week were insane, so if you missed any of them, this video is the video to watch. I am uploading this video before week 2 starts, so let's get straight into it. The first match of the day, we had the Houston Outlaws against the Paris Eternal. The Houston Outlaws have been really hot lately, so let's see if their fury carries on into stage 4. On the first map of the day, we had Busan. The Houston Outlaws assert their dominance, taking that map 2-0. Map 2, Paris Eternal strikes back and they win it on Volskaya Industries 1-0. They actually held Houston Outlaws to 0 points in an absolute masterful performance on defense. And this defense from the Paris Eternal continued into the next half, because on map 3, Blizzard World, they 3-0'd the Houston Outlaws. So at this point, they are up 2-1 in the series. The Houston Outlaws need Junkertown, map 4, to equalize it, taking it to a map 5, but the Paris Eternal hold strong yet again, and they beat the Houston Outlaws on this map 3-2. So overall, the score of this series was 3-1. Paris Eternal takes it against the Houston Outlaws. Now, the Paris Eternal looked absolutely amazing on their debut for this stage, but who was the player of the match? That player was number 99, Soon. Through his play on Widowmaker, Soon went absolutely off. Let me just read you the stats right now. He had 21,000 hero damage, 39 final blows, 25 scoped critical hit kills. Those are headshots, 32% scoped critical hit accuracy. That's absolutely insane. And he also had 17 solo kills to himself. Now, speaking about heroes going off, this might actually be the golden stage of Overwatch, because this stage debuted the 2-2-2 role lock, which means that every single match there has to be 2 supports, 2 tanks, and 2 DPS heroes being played at all times. You can't go for triple tank, quadruple tank. You can't have ghost comp anymore. This is a new era for Overwatch, and guess what? Every single Overwatch hero was played in this week. I believe this is actually a record and has never been done before. So we're seeing a lot of diversity in gameplay. This is so healthy for the scene. I'm really liking what I'm seeing, but that's it for that match. Paris Eternal beat the Houston Outlaws 3-1. On the next map, we had 2 of the most dominant teams in Overwatch League history. We had the LA Gladiators against the New York Excelsior. Which team would rise up in this new meta? So let's go over map 1. Map 1 was played on Busan. The Gladiators take that map 2-0. Then on Temple of Anubis, we had an absolute slugfest because the Gladiators take that 5-4 in OT. Then on map 3, New York Excelsior's defense holds strong and they take that map 1-0. And finally on map 4, it was played on Route 66. I feel like I haven't really saw Route 66 in so long in the Overwatch League, but the Gladiators come out on top and they take that map 3-2, making the overall score of the series 3-1 in favor of the LA Gladiators. The player of the match for the LA Gladiators was another Widowmaker. It was Decay, and he had 15,000 hero damage, 18 final blows, 9 scoped critical hit kills, 20% hit accuracy, and 3 solo kills. Not as amazing as Soon, but in this match he did step up when he needed to in the most pressurized moments of the match, and Decay really stepped up, and that's why he was the MVP of the match. But everybody from LA Gladiators stepped up because they had to play against the hard New York Excelsior, and if you beat the New York Excelsior, you have to go through thick and thin, and the LA Gladiators did that, and that's why they won the match, and that's the overall score of the series. The LA Gladiators beat the New York Excelsior 3-1. On the next match, we had the Guangzhou Charge against the Philadelphia Fusion. This series was a thriller because it went to a game 5. So let's go over all the maps right now. On Busan, the Philadelphia Fusion take it 2-0. On Volskaya, the Charge answer right back and they take that map 2-1. On Kings Row, that goes to overtime and the Charge take it 4-3. Then on Junkertown, that map goes to overtime and the Fusion take that 4-3. So on a game 5 Ilios, the Charge take that 2-0, making the overall score of the series 3-2. The Charge beat the Philadelphia Fusion. Now, the player of the match for the Charge in this thriller of a series was Hoppa. He was playing Zarya, and he also played Roadhog. He had 20,000 damage done on Roadhog, 34 final blows, 6 whole hog kills, 55% hook accuracy. That's a lot, especially in a series against a Philadelphia Fusion where they're so elusive and they're so chaotic. Then he had 65 eliminations. Hoppa went off, and that's the series. This match was probably the best all week. It went to a game 5, and each map was so individually close. It was such a crazy series to watch. You have to watch these highlights. But at the end of the day, the Charge beat the Philadelphia Fusion 3-2. In the next match, we had the reigning, defending Stage 3 champions, the Shanghai Dragons, against the Vancouver Titans. In this new meta, who would win this battle? In the first map, we had Lijiang Tower. The Shanghai Dragons take that 2-0. Shocking myself because the Vancouver Titans are so good at those King of the Hill maps. Now on map 2, Temple of Anubis, the Vancouver Titans take that 3-2. On map 3, Kings Row, the Vancouver Titans take that 1-0. So a lot of teams are getting held on that first point of these maps. In this week, I have no idea why. It might be the new meta, might be more chaotic to get a point, but that's just what it is. The Shanghai Dragons got 0 points on Kings Row by another masterful defense by another team, in this case being the Vancouver Titans. On map 4, the last map, the Shanghai Dragons lose it in overtime. 4-5 in Junkertown. The Vancouver Titans take it, and they take the series 3-1. Now, who was the player of the match? It was Hureg, someone who we haven't really seen play on the Vancouver Titans, but it's his time to step up because as a Widowmaker, and by the way, yes, it's another Widowmaker. He had 14,000 hero damage, 24 final blows, 15 scope critical hit kills, 29% scoped hit accuracy, and 7 solo kills. The Vancouver Titans just went off. They beat and dethroned the Dragons 3-1. The Vancouver Titans beat the Shanghai Dragons. The next series was the Toronto Defiant against the Washington Justice. The first map was split on Busan. The Washington Justice beat the Toronto Defiant 2-1. Now on Temple of Anubis, the Toronto Defiant answered back and they win that map 2-1. On Blizzard World, the Washington Justice beat the Toronto Defiant 2-1. And on map 4, Havana, the Washington Justice take it 3-2, making the overall score of the series 3-1 in favor of the Washington Justice, who only won 2 games before this point. So this win is really huge for them, and it may be a morale booster for the organization. Corey on the Washington Justice was a player of the match with 15,000 damage done on Widowmaker, 27 final blows, 23 scope critical hit kills, and 42% scope critical hit accuracy, and 12 solo kills. By the way, that scoped critical hit accuracy is the most we've seen yet, because Soon had around in the 30s, so he had 42%, making him the king of Widowmaker and getting those crisp, clean headshots with the scope. So congrats to the Washington Justice. This was a much needed win for the Toronto Defiant. Keep your head up. It's not over yet. You're still 7-15. You could still get into those play-in matches. You just have to win out. So that's the overall score of the series. 3-1. The Washington Justice beat the Toronto Defiant. Now I'm quickly going to go over the next matches. We had the London Spitfire against the Dallas Fuel. The London Spitfire actually takes this 3-1. It was pretty competitive. The score really doesn't say that, but if you watch the matches on Ilios, Hanamura, Kings Row, the Dallas Fuel really put up a fight, and Jester was the player of the match on Orisa. He had 22,000 damage done, 7,000 damage amplified, 27 final blows, 20 supercharger assists, and 64 offensive assists. The London Spitfire assert their dominance over the Dallas Fuel, and they take their first win of Stage 4. The next match I really wanted to see, it was the Seoul Dynasty against the San Francisco Shock. With this new meta, meta, I believe the San Francisco Shock and the Seoul Dynasty would be two of the great teams because they have so much depth in that DPS role, especially the San Francisco Shock. So many stars, and now that there's a balance to the game, they will exceed against their counterparts in their specific roles. Now, the San Francisco Shock did beat the Seoul Dynasty 3-1, and the player of the match for the Shock was Cheo Hobin. He had 15,000 hero damage done on Roadhog, 22 final blows, 7 whole hog kills, 61% hook accuracy. That's a lot. That's more than half. And he also had 49 eliminations. And guess what? He only had 11 deaths in the entire match as Roadhog. He's so good with his positioning, his self-healing. He knows when to aggress, and he knows when to play passive. The San Francisco Shock have so much potential to take this entire stage again. They might even go undefeated. I'm calling it now. But that's the series. The Shock take it 3-1 against the Seoul Dynasty. The next match was the Philadelphia Fusion against the Chengdu Hunters, and this goes to another OT. The Philadelphia Fusion just love going to overtime. Well, they sadly, unfortunately, lose in this match 3-2. The Hunters take it, and the player of the match, Jinmu, he stepped up on Doomfist. He had 16,000 hero damage, 29 final blows, 5 meteor strike kills, 1 solo kill, and 45 eliminations. He goes off, and that is the series. The Philadelphia Fusion lose it again in overtime. So close, but the Hunters are finally rising up, and they might do some damage in this meta. They have a lot of talent on their team, so it's going to be really intriguing to see how they perform in the matches to come. The next match, we had Paris Eternal against the LA Valiant. The LA Valiant take that 3-2. We had the Boston Uprising against the Charge, and the Charge completely smoked the Boston Uprising, 4-0ing them in an absolute sweep. That was insane. The LA Gladiators actually lose to the Houston Outlaws in the next match 3-1. So the Outlaws bounced back from an early loss, and they beat the LA Gladiators, who just beat the New York Excelsior. The Overwatch League is going crazy. The next match, we had the Atlanta Reign, and they take it against the Spark, who were predicted to be one of the best teams in this meta. Well, the Atlanta Reign, on the back of Dogman and Baby Bay, they take that 3-1. Then Shanghai Dragons, they beat the Seoul Dynasty 3-1. Spitfire beat the Toronto Defiant 3-1. Everything's going crazy. Then we had the Vancouver Titans against the Florida Mayhem 4-0. And on the last match of the week, we had the Boston Uprising against the Hunters. The Hunters take it 3-2, making this one of the craziest weeks of Overwatch. Everybody beating each other, bouncing back from a really hard loss to beating a team that looked like they were going to take it all. It just looked so crazy, but in a beautiful sense, because so many heroes were played. Like I said, every single Overwatch League hero was played. Every team has their own style, their own strategy. It's just really beautiful to see methodical and technical gameplay finally coming out of the Overwatch League. Well, I shouldn't say finally, but this is really the height of this strategy from the Overwatch League. So people like me who like to analyze the games, going over the games, I really see a beauty in it, and this is the best Overwatch League I have seen in quite a while. I am so happy. Guys, if you love the Overwatch League, you love these recaps, you want to see the latest news and drama coming out of the Overwatch League, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I am telling you, we are the #1 source for Overwatch League content. My name is Motorius, and this video is brought to you by ESTNN. Thank you guys. I really enjoy you guys coming here every single video and supporting me, liking the video and commenting down below. We love to see your thoughts, and I'm always going to respond to replies, so make sure you leave a comment down below and leave your thoughts. Thank you, have a great day, and enjoy the next week of Overwatch.